Welcome back to Charlie Talks Global, where today we're diving into the vibrant cultures that make our world so fascinating.
Hi, everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving deep into some of the really big tech narratives floating around these days. AI, robots, even the huge ambition of colonizing Mars. But here's a question we're kind of wrestling with. Are these things truly as game-changing as they sound? Or are they, maybe as one source puts it, narratives you might not have truly understood? Maybe even, well, not grand enough to fix our biggest problems.
It's a fascinating question, and it seems even the tech titans themselves are grappling with it. Our source today, Tay Media, that's Stan Beta, gives us this really interesting look. It suggests that people like Elon Musk and Peter Thiel, well, in private, they sound surprisingly skeptical about tech's power to solve massive issues, like specifically the U.S. deficit.
Okay, let's get into that. There's this really revealing phone call mentioned between Thiel and Musk. This was before the 2024 election. Thiel's apparently feeling pretty down about the U.S., talking about maybe leaving for New Zealand, or even one of those city projects if things didn't change politically. And Musk just hits him with, Peter, you don't understand, except for America, we have nowhere to go. I mean, that's pretty heavy, right?
It really is, and it apparently sparked this big aha moment for Thiel. He apparently thought later, Elon, I can't believe it. You don't believe in Mars immigration anymore. Yeah, Thiel's takeaway from Musk basically was, look, if all this amazing tech, millions of electric cars, Starlink, brain interfaces, AI, if none of that can fix America's political problems, then flying off to Mars is kind of pointless, politically speaking. The same old toxic politics, the regulations, will just follow you there.
Wow. Okay, but then it gets even more interesting. Thiel mentions another conversation on a different podcast. This time, Musk is all fired up. He's done with deficit talks with the government, ready to get back to tech. And he makes this massive claim. In 10 years, there will be 10 billion humanoid robots that can perform human tasks.
10 billion. It's hard to even picture that.
Exactly. And Thiel, thinking logically, immediately says, well, then you should be way less worried about the U.S. deficit problem. I mean, think about it. 10 billion robots. That's insane productivity growth. High economic growth should theoretically solve things like deficits, debt, political fights, shouldn't it? But Musk, after thinking for a second, still said he was worried about the deficit. So Thiel's conclusion was basically, okay, so you don't really believe that 10 billion robot story deep down, do you? And apparently that call also ended in silence. Another awkward silence. So what are we supposed to make of all this? The source seems to argue that, tech optimists today get super focused on the tiny details, like AI hitting HEI or getting an IQ of 135. But they're maybe missing the bigger picture, failing to get mainstream buy-in or solve actual major societal problems. I mean, if 10 billion robots and super smart AI can't even promise enough growth, say 10% GDP growth, to easily handle something like a 4% interest rate on national debt, well, where's the huge transformation we were promised?
And if you zoom out even further, the analysis points to what it calls technological stagnation, but specifically outside the digital world. Sure, internet, AI, they've leaped forward, but think about physical stuff. Planes, subways, airport security, even things like university costs or how efficient government is. Have those really improved much in the last 30 years? Some have arguably gotten worse. The Concorde stopped flying in 2003. Air travel is often slower now because of security.
Yeah, that's a good point. The source also makes a comparison, saying today's AI is maybe like the internet was back in, say, 1999. Everyone saw the huge potential, right? But the business models weren't quite there yet. Lots of failures. It took another, 15, 20 years for it to become truly massive. And while the internet definitely changed everything, it didn't necessarily fix those big macro narrative problems like the deficit.
So why? Why the stagnation, if that's what it is? The source throws out a few ideas. Maybe society's just become more scared of risk. Maybe education isn't preparing people the right way. Maybe the easy inventions, the low-hanging fruit, have mostly been picked. But there's a really crucial point it makes. Maybe previous generations sort of chose this slower path, this stagnant universe, to avoid, destroying ourselves. Like with nuclear weapons, maybe the fear of uncontrolled, dangerous tech led us to implicitly choose stasis over potentially catastrophic progress, a gentle goodnight instead of a risky leap forward.
It's definitely a provocative thought. This whole deep dive kind of forces us to ask, are these huge tech innovations really pulling their weight when it comes to fundamental problems? If they can't even make a dent in something like a persistent national deficit, maybe their real-world impact isn't quite what the hype suggests.
Exactly. It leaves you wondering, are the tech dreams we have just not ambitious enough for the real problems we face? Or, maybe more unsettlingly, Are we kind of unconsciously holding back, choosing stagnation to dodge the really big risks that come with truly world-altering macro-level change?
So for you listening, it really boils down to a question of balance, doesn't it? How do we weigh that drive for progress for the next big thing against the potential downsides,
Yeah.
the unintended consequences that could be? Well, destructive. Definitely something to keep in mind as you see these new innovations unfolding around us.